Hello, it's the Sunday Speakie or something, whatever the hell it is. It's me sitting here talking at a camera for the first time in a while, and my camera's putting a box around my head. If I smile, it will take a still. It's not half the time. They're not me smiling. It takes a photo every time I grimace. Yeah. Okay. What have I got to talk about? A few things. The first one is SOny Vita TV, or whatever it's called. What the hell is it? I've seen a few videos on it, and they explain it, and I understand what they're talking about, but I don't get it. And I suppose what I'm trying to say is, are Sony making a mistake here? It might be a very, very clever gadget that does some very, very clever things, and maybe is it a little bit too niche, a little bit too specialized? It's not obvious what it is. If it's got to be explained in some detail to a person like me who has been playing video games from the very start, when video games first began, if it's got to be explained to me, your general consumer is going to look at it and go, because I'm looking at it and going, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I know video games and I know video game hardware, and I know that if I look at a piece of hardware and go, it probably ain't. People have got to know what something is before they're going to buy it. So it doesn't matter how clever it is, or it's got to be obvious, and this thing just isn't. It plays some PS Vita games on your TV. Can't you plug your PS Vita into the TV anyway? I get that it's cheaper, but then it's not portable. You can't play the touchpad game, the touch screen, because it hasn't got a screen, so it's limiting in what Vita games you can play. You can stream your PS4 through it. Yeah, I kind of didn't get that in the ad I saw. There's a load of people playing it, and then some more people walk in and they turn on the Vita thing and pick up pads. Can't you do multiplayer through the PS? Was it the PS4 or the PS3? It was the PS4 they turned on, wasn't it? What? Yeah. I'm sure a whole bundle of people are now going to leave comments and explain it all to me. Right, don't. It doesn't matter if you understand what it does. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The details are unimportant. My point being, it is a confusing piece of kit in that it is not glaringly obvious straight away what it is and what it does. To some people it might be, but to a heck of a lot of people it won't be, and that is not a good thing for marketing. It's not a good thing if you want a successful piece of hardware in the marketplace. So Sony, at the very least, some better PR, please. or whatever. Yeah. There will be those who are just gonna say, yeah, you're just thick if you don't get it. Well, maybe I am, but I'll tell you what, there are a hell of a lot of thick people in the world, and these are the people you want buying the product. And if they don't get it, your product ain't gonna sell. Okay, moving on, because that's just something I want. Did I want to get it off my chest? No, it's just something I found odd and wanted to talk about. Next thing, okay, a question from... Why did I read that as how? Is that my eyes or my brain? It's Larry Bundy Jr, but I was about to read it as Harry Bundy Jr. Hello, Harry. Here's a possible question for your talkies one day, Steve. Now that Mame is so freely available, is it really worth playing ports of arcade games other than for aesthetic reasons, etc.? Good question, and one I've sat and pondered. And I think the answer is yes, it is. Until recent, do I use Mame much at all? Yeah, I didn't until fairly recently, because I don't really like playing video games on a computer. Or rather, I should say, on my PC, on a PC monitor. I like a whopping great big screen, and I like to be sitting back from it. I don't want to be playing at a desk with the monitor right slap bang in front of me. It doesn't. I can't focus at near distance. My eyes are buggered. I'm short-sighted, but I'm also old, and I now can't focus near distance. So a computer monitor was just, I couldn't do it. It gave me headaches. So I didn't play Mame until I hooked my PC up to my big 32-inch LCD thing, my gaming TV basically. And then I play more Mame like that. And I mean, if you want to play old arcade games, Mame is the ideal choice if you want to do it at home. If you want a really accurate representation of the game, albeit you don't get all the funky controllers and other cabinet features, Mame's as good as you're going to get. Unless you've got the cabinet. Star Wars sit-down cab. Gimme. Anyway, so is there a reason to play home ports? Well, what do you mean by home ports for a start? There are the things like the Midway compilations, Capcom compilations, the stuff you get on the PS1, PS2. Have they done it on PS3? I don't think I've seen any. But you know the stuff. Things like Midway Arcade Treasures. Brilliant, because these are mostly more or less arcade perfect. There are some alterations here and there, like maybe the scores aren't at the top, they're down the side or something like that. Things that they've done because you've got a different screen shape. Horizontal instead of vertical in some cases. But largely the games play very, very accurately compared to the original. So, why would you play one of them instead of Mame? What's the purpose in buying one? Again, I think it comes down to what you're using as a display thing. Are you using a computer monitor? If you are, I think that the console conversions are very much worth playing, because of that sit back on your sofa with a joypad. I like playing with a joypad anyway, and sometimes it's just more convenient to have it on a console. And there's the preference of the interface as well. I like the interfaces you get on these arcade compilations. I don't especially like... I use Mame 32 or Mame FX or... God, I can't even remember which one it is. I don't use command line anything because I don't like command line stuff. It's got to have an interface. There are lots of different things. I mean, you can get front ends and blah blah. But anyway, I don't necessarily think it's the compilations like that that Larry is referring to, considering his comment was on my Commando video. Commando for the Amiga. So is there a reason to play old ports for old computers or consoles? Given that they're frequently actually not that close to the original. The older the console, the less. I mean, yes, the Atari 2600 Commando looks, well, it is like a very, very, very rough approximation of Commando and how it plays. Kind of like maybe a Van Gogh painting is a very rough approximation of, say, a vase full of sunflowers. In fact, that's probably closer to the real thing than an Atari game is to the original game. But anyway... no, I think there is still a really good reason to buy or play old ports, and that is because you're not... It's nostalgia. Did you grow up with that system? And is that the version of the game that you played first? Or... Street Fighter 2. I played it in the arcades when it was in the arcades, when there were arcades. But the one I'm most familiar with and the one that I love is on the SNES. Is that arcade perfect? No, it's not. No. But it's the one I have the most nostalgia for because I played it loads. I was quite good at it once. I haven't played it in a very long time, so I'm not good at it now. I haven't done a video of it, I don't think. I probably should do. But anyway, yeah, nostalgia, I think. And, Well, historic value. It's not really about how authentic a conversion is. It's about this was available for this computer and this is how good or bad it was. So it's historic. It's documenting the technology of the time, and it's worth playing them, I think, just to, maybe not for the joy of the game. If you want to play a good version of Commando, you don't play it on the Atari. Commodore 64 version seems popular. Amiga version impressed me. Spectrum version's meant to be quite good. You sure as hell don't play it on the Acorn Electron for the fun of it, because that is the most god-awful arcade conversion of anything I've ever seen. But I think it's worth playing. Not for a good game of Commando, but to laugh your head off at how bad it is. Yeah, that I think it is worth playing them, but not because you want to play the arcade game. It's because of the system it's on, and to remind yourself or avail yourself of their abilities or lack of, something like that. Okay, that answered that, I think. Okay, yeah, from sandamtod. When you sub to a channel, do you watch any of their old videos? And this is especially relevant when it's a big channel, I think. You come across a channel by chance, say maybe it's someone who's commented on your channel, and you go and have a look at their channel and see, oh yeah, they're quite good, and you subscribe. Do you then just sit and wait for them to put up new stuff, or do you go back and look through their back catalogue of videos? I do, yes, I absolutely do. How I do that, I don't watch everything they've ever done. I look at the channel of most people who comment on my videos. I don't necessarily always go and look at channels of people who are shouted out by other people. Sometimes I do, but not always. It depends on what is said. Kinda, if it's a, yeah, go check out so-and-so, he's cool, I don't bother. But if someone's going into detail about what this person does and is very enthusiastic and explains why they're so great, then I do sometimes go and check them out. And when I do that, I don't sit and look at watch every video they've done. I look at the titles, and this is why titles matter. If you've got a channel, you need to do good titles. They need to explain what this video is of, so that at a glance a person can decide are they going to be interested in this. There is a tendency where people are doing a series of videos, and it's an easy thing to do, to just put a number, say so and so show number 3, number 4, number. Not good. People want to know what's in that video, and if all you're doing is numbering and saying this is show number whatever, no one's got a clue what the topic or subject matter is. And if they're looking for something that's going to interest them in terms of subject matter, they're not going to necessarily go to that. Titles matter. So I will look through a channel's back catalogue of videos and read all the titles, and if the title interests me, I will watch it. And this is something sandamtod said. If it's pickups or quite often maybe a talky thing, a response to something going on in the community at the time, those things are kind of, they lose their relevance over time. But gameplay videos, and that's largely what I watch anyway. Yeah, you can watch a gameplay video from several years ago, and it's, especially when it's retro gaming, it's always going to be relevant if you're into retro gaming, which I guess if you're watching this video you probably are. Yeah, so I mean the channel that comes to mind with me is Classic Game Room. First time I came across Classic Game Room, it was actually it was when I was first noticing the retro gaming community, and loads of people were subscribed to it, and I think Gamester81 mentioned it. Someone else mentioned it anyway, and I thought, well, I'll go and check this out. But this was when Mark was just bringing his old back catalogue from the old days when he was doing videos with that other guy whose name I don't know. They were bringing he was bringing the back catalogue over onto YouTube, so it was the very old format, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the sitting there, two people chatting about a game, because frankly I found the other guy just... the style didn't work for me. So I didn't subscribe. You know, I watched a few and... and that was the last time I watched any of those for a long time. It was about 2 or 3 years after I had heard about this channel, and I saw lots of people were talking about it, and I just remembered, yeah, I went and watched that. I didn't like it. I didn't know what all the fuss was about. Wasn't my cup of tea at all. But then I stumbled across one of his newer format videos. By this time he'd put up like 1,000 videos, and I watched one and I was like, holy crap, I've been missing some really good stuff here. And I subscribed, and I must have spent a week just watching, trying to catch up with everything I'd missed, because what I'd missed was a lot, and it was really good. Yeah, and I will do that if I find a channel that I like and I subscribe to it. I'll go through all the titles and find stuff that I think I'll be interested in, and I'll watch them. Sandamtod also, he was talking about thinning out older videos, and asking, do we do that or do we keep everything? I keep everything. Apparently some people, when they've got videos that are getting a bit old and not getting lots of views, they delete them. No, don't do that unless it's something you're embarrassed by or you no longer stand by what you said. Keep everything, because search results, yeah, your current subscriber base won't necessarily be watching them, though it has to be said, I've got a back catalogue of video. I've got approaching 1,500 videos on this channel. Some of you might not be aware of that. I've been doing it for a while. I've got a lot of videos, and new subscribers, I will see them commenting on my older videos. I tend not to reply to comments on my older videos because, well, I'm getting a massive comment on the new videos, and if I reply to everything, well, I don't reply to everything even in the new videos. Can't keep up, basically, but people are clearly still watching the old stuff. They're going back. They are watching the old stuff. And searches. Keep your old stuff, because it's still people who are doing a search for a topic or a game video or whatever. They will find them, and you might gain new viewers, new subscribers. If you delete your old stuff just because your current subscribers aren't watching them, you lose the potential for gaining new viewers. You want as many videos as you can possibly have. It's not easy these days, the way YouTube have changed things, to browse through people's older videos. You've got to do that click more, click more, click more. You used to be able to like skip through page, you know, pages were numbered at the bottom and you could skip back several pages at a time, and that made sense, where what they've done now is stupid. But people will still find them through searches. My solution to making my videos easier to find is playlists. All of my videos are put into playlists by either system. If you want to see a video of a game on a particular system, you can go and look, say Atari 2600 games. I've got a 2600 playlist, go look at that. Or I've got a Friday Talkie playlist. Stuff like that. If you want to see the old videos, playlists are the way to go, because you can scroll through them far more in a more targeted way and get to the old stuff. Totally recommend using them, but don't delete your old stuff. It's not... If you want to grow your audience, keep everything. Okay. This question is originally from Spundy08, but I saw it via sandamtod. This isn't really game related at all, but I just found it an interesting question. What movie or movies do you always stop and watch when they're on TV? Because you might have a big collection of DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS in my case. I've got a lot of VHS. And there are some films I've watched hundreds of times. Blade Runner. I have lost count of how many times I've watched that over a period of years when I was in my teens and early 20s. I watched Blade Runner on a daily basis. Now, how old was I when I bought it? I was about 15. I bought it when I was 15. I watched it, certainly when I just bought it. I mean, I got really obsessive about it. I don't understand why, except that it's a brilliant film. I watched it at least once a day for probably 3 or 4 years. So when I say I've seen that film over 1,000 times, because I still watch it now. You know, I've got 2 copies on VHS. I think I've got it on DVD somewhere. I've definitely got it on Blu-ray. Yeah, I've seen that film over 1,000 times. Not exaggerating. Does that make me sad? No, I don't think so. Does it make me a bit crazy? Yeah, probably. Bit something going on in there. I don't watch it every day now. But I know exactly what's going to be said as they say it. I can't necessarily quote whole sentences and you know, but it's a film I'm very familiar with. When that comes on the TV, I haven't seen it on the TV in a while, but you would think Blade Runner would be the answer, my answer to this question. It's not. But that was an example of how you can have films and be very, very familiar with them, and whenever they come up, blah, still watch them on telly. I will watch Blade Runner when it comes up on telly, but it's not the one that I will always watch if it comes up on telly. There are some that I have on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, VHS, and if I see them on telly, I will still watch. But there is one in particular, and you'll chuckle. It helps if it's on at a certain time of year, say Christmas, and it really ought to be Boxing Day. The Wizard of Oz. I love The Wizard of Oz. I don't have it. I haven't got it on video. I haven't got it on DVD or Blu-ray. But I think it's a fantastic film. It's one of my favourite films. I mean, generally I like edgy, I like sci-fi, I like hard-hitting, I like gritty. But I love The Wizard of Oz. And if it because it's not on the telly that often now, though. I don't know. Is it? Can you get it on Love Film? I don't. It's probably on something like that. I don't think I've checked. I should probably look on Love Film and just see if it's there. But it was on TV not that long ago, and I just had to watch. And whenever I see it, if it's on telly, I've got to watch it. Because partly, I think, just because I haven't got it and I love it. So yeah, that is my answer to that. And it's short answer to what is a fun question, really. Have I got anything else to talk about? I don't really know. I haven't got any shout outs lined up. I know there are channels, but this is a rush job because I'm just trying to cram it into a small space of time here. Like, I've been doing the play and waffle things, but I was just kind of been in the mood. I was going to do a Friday talkie and I got sidetracked. And why was that? Sega Mega CD games, basically. I remember being told quite some time ago that the Mega CD can play backups. Let's call them backups, eh? Yeah. Burned games, you know, non-original. And I was told that quite a while ago, and so back then I tried downloading a game and burned it to a CD and put it in my Mega CD, and it didn't work. So I just thought, yeah, right, bollocks. And I didn't try it again, and I can't remember what it was. Something triggered me recently. I think it was just seeing. I can't remember what I was trawling through, but I found a website with a whole load of disc images for the Mega CD, and I suspect they are there and used by people who use emulators. Certainly forum references to them and that are all about emulators and whatever. Anyway, I downloaded one just to see. Put it in my Mega CD. It didn't work. Bollocks, I thought. And then I thought, hold on a minute. In the name of the file it said U, which I took to mean universal, as in it would work on any region of Mega CD. But then I noticed that the other ones were E and J. J being Japanese, E English or European, whatever, but it said PAL. I have a PAL Mega CD. I put in a U. It's not universal, is it? It's USA, so that will have been an NTSC American region game. No bloody wonder my Mega CD wouldn't play it, because they are, while they might play unsigned discs, they are region locked. So I tried it with a PAL one. Guess what? It worked. So there will be those who will say, well, that's not legit. You haven't got a real copy of the game there, blah blah. Well, I'm not a collector of games. I'm a retro gamer. I'm a collector of hardware. All my hardware is legit. Games, I don't care what it's on. I just want to play the game. So there will be some Mega CD games coming up. But Friday I was just so engrossed in messing around with all of that. That's what I was doing Friday. I was like, yep, got to do a video, got to do a video, got to do a talkie video. No, I'm busy doing this. So sod that. Didn't get done. Yesterday I was out shopping, looking for birthday presents for Andrea, because it's her birthday very soon. So yeah, which leaves me with today. And here I am, just trying to cram it in whilst, well, domestic stuff actually. Got a house to clean and stuff. It's not fun at all actually. But yeah, I'm grabbing a few minutes to do this, which is why it's not organised and why stuff. You don't need to know. It doesn't matter. I'm just waffling now. That was an awful lot of time spent telling you stuff that just... meh. Whatever. Have I got anything else to tell you? Well, I guess what's coming up. I have about 5 Amiga videos already pre-recorded, ready to... well, I've got to edit them, but they're recorded. So there'll be some more Amiga videos coming this week. I'm going to intersperse them with some Mega CD stuff, which I plan to record through the week. You might get 2 videos a day, or on some days or something. It depends whether I manage to fit it all in. It's about all really, I think. Sooner or later I'll do a video of this as well. Magic Carpet on Sega Saturn, just because I've got it. Hot UK Deals, Andrea uses that site a lot, and it's largely about getting bargains and stuff, but some people on there, they sell off stuff cheap. Very often someone will say, you know, selling my blah blah collection, and they'll sell games off individually or in bundles or whatever, and sometimes Andrea will say, this person's selling this, do you want any of these? Big list of games. And well, that was one of them. I do recommend people, if you're in the UK, I don't know if these people will ship overseas, if you're in the UK, do check out Hot UK Deals. You will find some bargains on there. Do be very, 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 very careful when buying anything on there. There are pages of advice, tips to follow, because it's not like buying on eBay. You have none of the protection. Everything needs to be done in the open so that everyone can see it. Don't have private conversations about what you're going to buy and sell and how much, and get the address and the phone number of the person you're buying from. It ain't eBay. You got no protection. So follow all the rules that they have on there. But doing all of that, you can get some bargains. It's a site worth checking out, because I've had quite a few games from there over the years. Dirt cheap. Hot UK Deals. I don't know is it a .com? or a .uk, co thing. I'm not sure. Google it anyway. I'm going to shut up now. Dogs are going mental. Someone's obviously arrived downstairs or arriving, parked outside something. Shutting up. Thank you for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the thumbs up button. I upload videos daily, so go ahead and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more. To all those who've already subscribed, I'd just like to say a great big thank you.